Okay, welcome in. I'm going to be reviewing Tuesday's action from the NHL. There were a total of 9 games on tap, so let's dive into it. You can see the first game on your screen took place in Tampa Bay as the Lightning played host to the Vancouver Canucks. In the first period, Nikita Kucherov got his fourth goal of the season, assisted by Radish and Braden Point, 3 minutes and 55 seconds of the first frame. In the second, Braden Point would get his second goal of the year, assisted by Gensel and Ryan McDonough, 7 minutes and 43 seconds of the second frame. So the Lightning had a 2-0 lead heading into the third period. Anthony Cirelli would increase the lead to 3-0, getting his first goal of the year, assisted by Hagel and Paul. And that goal happened just under a minute into the third period, making 3-0. Connor Garland would finally get the Vancouver Canucks on the board, getting a power play goal, his second of the season from Besser and DeBrusk, 4 minutes and 14 seconds of the third, making it 3-1 at that point in favor of the Lightning. Late in the third, Vancouver would pull their goalie. Brandon Hagel would strike, getting an empty net goal, his first of the season from Paul and Cirelli, and that goal happened with 1 minute and 46 seconds remaining on the clock. So Lightning would win this game 4-1. With that, they are now 2-2-0 on the standings, or on the year, I should say. And as for the Canucks, after 3 games, they are 0-1-2. So they're still looking for their first win of the season. Take a look at the second game. The Washington Capitals played host to the Vegas Golden Knights. And this one was an intriguing one, only for the big reason. I'm sure you can see on the screen that Ovechkin got recorded as the 700th assist. But for the goaltending matchup in the offseason, I believe Vegas traded Logan Thompson to the Washington Capitals, and this would be his first start. As if I'm not mistaken, I think Charlie Lindgren started game 1 for the Capitals, and then their second game, which was this one, Thompson played against his former teammates. So I'm sure he had some mixed emotions, to say the least. In the first period, Jacob Vrana, welcome back, would get his first goal as a Washington Capital on his second run, assisted by Mangiapane. Now, this is something I did not realize, was that Mangiapane is now a member of the Capitals. So I'm not sure if he got traded from Calgary in the offseason to Washington, or if his contract ran out and he signed with Washington. But either way, he has now been a member of the Capitals. Victor Olofsson would get his third goal of the year for the Vegas Golden Knights, getting a power play goal, assisted by Hurdle and Mark Stone. And that goal happened 17 minutes and 49 seconds of the first period. So heading into the second, we were all tied up at 1. In the second period, Tom Wilson would break the tie, getting his second goal of the year, a power play marker from Dylan Strome and Ovechkin over 3 minutes into that second frame. Alexias Protas would get his first goal of the season from Alex Ovechkin, 5 minutes and 16 seconds of that second period, increasing the lead to 3-1 at that point. Jacob Chechurkin would get his first goal as a member of the Capitals from Dowd and Carlson, 6 minutes and 13 seconds. So just 57 seconds after Protas scored, Chechurkin would cash in as well. Jack Eichel would cut the deficit to 4-2, getting his second goal of the season from Stone and Bradbury, 7 minutes and 17 seconds of that same frame. And that's where we would end at that. There was no scoring in the third period, so 4-2 would be the final score in favor of the Capitals. So they're now 1-1-0 on the season after 2 games. And as for the Vegas Golden Knights, they suffered their first loss. They are 3-1-0. Alrighty, the New Jersey Devils were in Carolina to take on the Hurricanes. Take a look and see how this one went. So in the second period, there's no scoring in the first. Jack Hughes will get his first goal of the season from Bratt and Kovacevic, just 1 minute and 16 seconds into the second frame. Seth Jarvis will get his first goal of the season, assisted by Svechnikov, 2 minutes and 55 seconds of the same period. Shane Gothenburg will get his first goal of the year from Nietzsche and Kotkaniemi, and that goal happened with 37 seconds to go in the period. So heading into the third period, the Carolina Hurricanes had a 2-1 lead. Jackson Blake, I believe, would get his first career NHL goal from Dmitry Orlov, 10 minutes and 16 seconds of the third, increasing the lead to 3-2. Nico Hischier would score on a power play, getting his third goal of the year from Hughes and Bratt at 15:16 of the third period. And then with the net empty, Sebastian Aho would strike, getting his first goal of the year from Jacob Slavin, I believe, and Martinook. And that goal happened 18 minutes and 24 seconds of the third, so roughly 1 minute and 36 seconds remaining on the clock. 4-2 would be the final score from Carolina. And with the win, the Hurricanes are now 1-1-0 on the season. And even though the Devils lost, they are still 4-2-0 atop of that Metropolitan Division. The Columbus Blue Jackets played host to the Carolina Panthers in their first home game of the season. They had a very, really nice tribute at the start of the game. If you haven't had a chance to see it, I guarantee if you go on any YouTube clip, it was just very touching. And then when they did the opening face-off, they didn't have a left winger at the opening, and obviously that was Johnny Gaudreau's position. So then they ran 13 seconds off the clock since that was his number. So a very fitting tribute to a fallen star. Alrighty, into the game. So Cole Sillinger would get his first goal of the season, a shorthanded marker from Kent Johnson, just 41 seconds into the second frame, making it 1-0 in favor of the Blue Jackets. Anton Lundell would get his third goal of the year from Reinhart and Nate Schmidt, 10 minutes and 25 seconds of the second frame. It was all tied up at 1 at that point. Sean Monahan would break the tie less than a minute after that, 57 seconds to be exact, getting his second goal of the year from Chinnikov and Marchenko, giving the Blue Jackets a 2-1 lead. That lead wouldn't last long, however. Just 37 seconds after that, Dmitry Kulikov would get his first goal of the season from Mikkola and Lundell, making it 2-2 at that point. And with just 2 seconds remaining, it looked like this game was going to be tied at 2. Sam Reinhart would break that tie with his fourth goal of the year from Verhaeghe and Sam Bennett. So the Panthers had a 3-2 lead heading into the third period. Edo Luosterainen made his second goal of the season from Reinhart and Mikkola, 15 minutes and 12 seconds of the third period, giving the Florida Panthers a 4-2 lead. And then James Van Riemsdyk would get his first goal as a member of the Blue Jackets from Severson and Kevin Labanc, and that goal happened with 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go, I believe, in the period. Unfortunately, the Blue Jackets were not able to mount a comeback, so 4-3 would be the final score in favor of the Panthers. With the victory, Florida's now 3-2-0 on the season, and as for the Blue Jackets, they are 1-2-0. Alrighty, the Minnesota Wild took on the St. Louis Blues. So Ryan Hartman would score just over 3 minutes into the first period, giving the Wild a 1-0 lead. For Hartman, that'd be his second goal of the season, a power play marker, if I didn't say that already, from Kaprizov and Faber. In the second period, Jacob Lumba would get his first goal of the season from, Kuznetsov Demidov and Broden, 7 minutes and 52 seconds of the second period, giving the Wild a 2-0 lead heading into the third. Marco Rossi would increase the lead to 3-0, getting his first goal of the season from Zuccarello and Kaprizov just under a minute into the third period. At that point, the Wild had a 3-0 lead. Matthew Joseph, I believe he was acquired from the Ottawa Senators during the offseason, or maybe signed through free agency, would get his first goal as a member of the Blues from Bolduc and Broberg. 10 minutes and 10 seconds of the third, and then with the net empty and short-handed, the Blues pulled their goalie to no avail, and Philip Gustafsson, the goaltender, would be credited with a goal. So not only did he get an empty net goal, he got a power play empty net goal. I'm sure he's in elite company if he's not the only goalie to do that. So very impressive, to say the least, for the Wild. So 4-1 would be the final score. And with that, the Wild got their second win of the season. They are now 2-0-2. And for the Blues, they are 2-2-0. Now we're off to Nashville, where we have the Predators playing host to the Seattle Kraken. Riker Evans, I believe, will get his first goal of the season from Adam Larsson just over 3 minutes into that first period, giving the Kraken a 1-0 lead. Oliver Bjorkstrand will get his first goal of the season from Stevenson and Schwartz, 7 minutes and 7 seconds of the same period, giving the Seattle Kraken a 2-0 lead at that point. Michael McCarron would get his first goal of the year from Parsonen and Alex Carrier, 14 minutes and 47 seconds of the first as well. Tommy Novak would tie the game up with exactly 3 minutes to go, get the second goal of the season from Jankowski and Evangelista. So just with over 30 seconds to go, I apologize, Brandon Tanev would get his first goal of the season from Montour and Yanni Gourde, and that goal happened just 33 seconds remaining in the first period. So now I can say heading into the second, the Kraken had a 3-2 lead. Brady Shea would get his first goal as a member of the Nashville Predators from O'Reilly and Forsberg, and that goal happened with 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the second. So a very wild first period, 5 goals, only one goal scored in the second. Jaden Schwartz would break the tie in the third period, getting his first goal of the season from Bjorkstrad and Chandler Stevenson, a minute 19 seconds of the third period. Just over a minute after that, Jordan Eberle, I believe, would get his third goal of the season from McCann and Alexiak, giving the Kraken a 5-3 lead at that point. With just around 12 minutes into the third, 11 minutes and 57 seconds to be exact, Jarek McCann would strike, getting his second goal of the season from Matt Beniers and Oleksias, if I pronounce that name correct. Alexiak, there we go. And then Adam Larson would add an empty net goal with just over 2 minutes to go, getting his first goal of the season. So the Kraken would go into Nashville, winning this game 7-3. So with that, the Kraken are now 2-2-0 on the season. And as for the Nashville Predators, very surprising. They're 0-3-0. Now we're off to Dallas, where we had the Stars, who played host to the San Jose Sharks. So there's no scoring in the first. Tyler Toffoli would open the scoring in the second, getting his second goal of the season, unassisted, 6 minutes and 24 seconds of the second frame. Matt Duchene would tie the game up, getting his first goal of the year from Marchman and Stankoven, 12 minutes and 3 seconds of the second. Ty Dellandrea, a former Star, would give the Sharks a 2-1 lead, assisted by Nico Sturm, 15 minutes and 12 seconds of the second frame. And then to cap it off, Rupe Hintz would get a second goal of the year from Robertson and Wyatt Johnson, and that goal happened 17 minutes and 12 seconds of the second frame. There was no scoring in the third or overtime. We would need a shootout to decide this, and Matt Duchene would get the game-winning goal for the Dallas Stars. So with that, the Stars are still undefeated on the season. They have a record of 4-0-0, and as for the San Jose Sharks, they dropped to 0-1-2. Alrighty, the Chicago Blackhawks were continuing their road trip. This time they went into Calgary to take on the Flames. In the first period, Matt Coronado, if I pronounce that name correctly, will get his first goal of the season from Kirkland and Anderson, 16 minutes and 1 second of the first frame. Just 10 seconds after that, Nick Foligno would tie the game up, getting his second goal of the year from Seth Jones and Alec Martinez. Heading into the second period, we were all tied up at 1. Andrei Kuzmenko would break the tie in the second, getting a power play goal, his first of the year from Huberdeau and Zari, 13 minutes and 32 seconds of the second. And then late in the third, the Blackhawks pulled their goalie. Matt Coronado would get his second goal of the game, obviously his second of the season, empty net goal from Backlund with just 39 seconds to go in the game. So the Flames would win this 3-1, and I believe they are still undefeated on the season. They are 4-0-0, and as for the Chicago Blackhawks, they are 1-2-1. Alrighty, I believe we're on to the last game, which took place in Edmonton, and they played host to the Philadelphia Flyers. So in the first, Marteyev Michkov would get his first career NHL goal on the power play from Owen Tippett and Morgan Frost, just over 4 minutes into the first period. But Michkov would strike again, getting his second goal of the game from Frost and Konechny. This time it was 9 minutes and 21 seconds of the first period. So heading into the second, these Flyers had a 2-0 lead. In the second period, Adam Henrique would get his first goal of the season from Jan Mark and Brett Kulak, 6 minutes and 26 seconds of the second frame, cutting the deficit to 2-1. And then with just under 6 minutes to go, Connor Brown will get his first goal of the season from Jeff Skinner and Darnell Nurse. This time he didn't have to wait 3/4 of the season to finally get his first goal. It only took him 4 games this year. Bobby Brink would score with just 23 seconds to go, getting his first goal of the year from Zamula and Farabee with just 23 seconds remaining in the period. So heading into the third, the Flyers had a 3-2 lead. With 3 minutes and 42 seconds to go, Evan Bouchard would strike, tying the game up at 3, his first of the season from McDavid and Draisaitl. We would need overtime to settle this, and just 56 seconds in, Draisaitl will get the game-winning goal, his second of the year, assisted by Connor McDavid. So the Oilers finally win their first game of the season. Their record is now 1-3-0. And as for the Philadelphia Flyers, after 3 games, they have ones in each column. 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 overtime/shootout loss. Alrighty, that's going to take care of Tuesday's recap from the NHL season. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.